Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is something I'm just insanely excited about, and it is this beautiful creature. It is the NARS Loaded eyeshadow palette. Now I have so many of these like limited edition NARS palettes, and every time I'm like, oh, I just have so many of them, I don't need the next one, I'll miss the next one out, I'll miss the next few out. And every time they just get me. I don't know, like this one in particular. I think this one has like potential to be like my favourite all-time NARS limited edition eyeshadow palette because the colours are just so beautiful. Anyway, so this is what it looks like from the front. It has this like mirrored front, so you can actually kind of use it as a mirror. It's pretty clear. And then inside it has a huge mirror here, and it has 12 beautiful eyeshadow shades inside. I believe all of these shades are limited edition for this palette, so that was kind of even more incentive to get it. I have to say the ones that really drew me into the palette were sort of these three here. So this kind of warm shimmery copper, this kind of lighter, oh sorry no, this is the warm shimmery copper, this kind of matte sort of brick colour, and this sparkly gold. Like those just have my name written all over them. But anyway, I have not used this yet, so I'm going to do a first impressions video for the first time ever. I've never done one before, so just bear with me on this. But yeah, I'm just excited to get started. So I'll quickly tell you what the shades are. So up here in the corner you've got this creamy white shimmery shade, that's called Dover. Then next to it you have a matte sort of bone coloured shade, that's called Privilege. Next to that you have Windsor, which is this beautiful shimmery gold shade. At the end you have Newbury Street, which is kind of a cool toned medium matte brown. I could really imagine myself using that as like a base eyebrow shade and then going in with something a little bit darker afterwards, and also as like a transition shade to blend things out. Then on the next row, oh goodness me, how do you pronounce this? Beaumaris. And that's a kind of an orangey peach matte shade. I'm not sure if I'll use that one and how I'd use that one, but I'll give it a go at some point. Next along is Alnwick. Oh, these names. It's A-L-N-W-O-C-K. Alnwick. I don't know. And that is a really nice shade. Like I could definitely see myself wearing that all over the lid. I think it would just look really nice. That one's completely matte too. Next to that you have this one here, which is Castille. I think that's how you pronounce that. And this is kind of a similar shade, but it's like a slightly shimmerier version. That is really nice. Next one along here is a kind of a dark chocolatey shimmery brown, and that's called Foix. F-O-I-X. Probably should have like researched how to pronounce these before filming this video, but hey ho, never mind. And then onto the bottom row you have Real, which is this one. This is the most cool toned shade in the palette. It's a kind of silvery browny taupe with shimmer in and a few specks of glitter. That's probably another one that I probably won't get much use out of, but 2 shades out of 12 is, you know, fine really. But I will give it a go at some point. I just find like cool tones don't really suit me. Yeah, that one was called Real. And then next up we have Montaillou, which is another kind of shimmery brown, slightly lighter than this one, and a little bit kind of golden. That's really nice. And then you have Versailles, know how to pronounce that, which surprisingly is a matte dark brown shade. I mean, it's a shade that I love, it's gorgeous. Just a plain kind of bitter chocolate matte brown. That's the one that I'll probably go back in with, like in my eyebrows. I'd use that as a liner, kind of smudged out, and I love a matte dark brown. I think they're like an essential in a palette. I'm just surprised that that one's called Versailles, because I know Versailles is like the palace in Paris that's all like glitzy and sparkly, so I thought one of the sparkly ones would be called that. Anyway, and the last one is Splendor, which is this one down in the corner. This is a shimmery black. I'd say actually it's more satiny than shimmery. It's definitely not matte, but there's hardly any glitter in there. I mean, it's really nice. So yeah, all really beautiful, gorgeous shades. So I think today I'm gonna go for, I think this one here, Alnwick, is just calling my name, that sort of coppery brick colour, the matte one. So I think I'm going to go for that all over the lid, and then go in with the golden one sort of in the centre of the lid. But I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to see how it goes. So let's grab a brush. I've already got a bit of like concealer and like powder on my eyelids, so I'm not going to do the whole eyeshadow primer thing. I've got a good old MAC 217 here, slightly grubby, but we can overlook that, can't we? I've also already got mascara on because I just filmed another video, so sorry about that, but I often like will do my makeup in the morning, wear mascara and not put on any eyeshadow, and then put eyeshadow on later on in the day. And I find if you just kind of top up your mascara afterwards, you get rid of any kind of fall down. So anyway, I'm going to go in with that Alnwick shade, however you pronounce it, and I'm just going to pop that all over the lid. Okay, straight away my first thought is that this is just so nice for a matte shade. Like matte shades are often quite like chalky and difficult to blend out, and this is just going on really smoothly. I really like this. It is powdering up a bit on the palette and it's kind of falling off, but I find as long as you kind of tap the excess off your brush, it's not falling down onto my face at all, or not yet anyway. So I've just put that all over my lid and just gone a little bit into the crease as well, slightly higher up. And I'm now going to take the Bobbi Brown Eye Blender brush, and I'm just going to soften the edges of that. I have to say I really like that, even just left there on its own. I think it's a really nice shade, and I have nothing like this in my collection. Certainly not like matte and that warm toned. I just love it. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go in with the gold now, which is called Windsor. And I fancy using some sort of a flat brush for that. I'm going to use this one here. This is the Space NK eyeshadow brush, but this is quite an old one, so I don't think they do this one anymore. But you can get lots of brushes that are kind of a similar shape. It's just kind of rounded at the end and quite flat. So I'm just going to grab a bit of that gold shade. I'm just going to pop that onto the lid. I have to say, it's not quite as pigmented as I expected it to be. I think it might be better if I just go in with my finger. Sometimes with these super shimmery shades, oh yes, that's so much better. Yeah, sometimes with these shimmery shades, you just need to kind of pack it on with your finger. Just packing that onto the lid. I'm now going to take this little Real Techniques accent brush, get a bit more of that and just pop it in the inner corner. I have to say, I really love a shimmery gold in the inner corner of my eye. Oh, so with this brush, it is actually coming out really pigmented, which is good. And I'm just joining up this little area here where I put it on the lid. Going back in with my Bobbi Brown brush again and just softening that all out. I do really like I do really like a very soft sort of edged eye makeup, so I do tend to like blend out quite a bit till there's kind of almost nothing left at the edges and it's very gradual, rather than that sort of very severe line. I just find it suits my eye shape better. Back in with the old MAC brush. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop a bit more of that brick colour in here just because it's like blended out a little bit. Just focusing more on the crease this time. And then I think I'm going to go for something darker in the outer corner. I'm going to use the shade Versailles, which is that dark brown. And just pop it in that outer corner, just in the outer V. I'm just going to blend that out. Actually, I'm just going to blend that out with this brush here. This is the Sephora Pro blending brush. Oh, this has got black on it. It's fine. And I just find this is quite a nice brush to just blend things out while like not spreading it out too far, because that Bobbi Brown one is quite big. Now I have just noticed I'm starting to get a bit fall down here. It's a darker colour, it looks like it could be that dark brown one. So I'm just going to brush that off. Yeah, it seems to come off quite well without like sticking. I think that's probably because I've got like quite a bit of powder on under my eyes, so that's good. So I think I'm going to pop a little bit of something on my brow bone. I'm going to go for this matte shade here, the second one along, which is called Privilege, just on this Bobbi Brown brush again and just, it is a matte one, but I've got quite a bit of shimmer going on already, so I'm just popping that on. And I think I'm going to go in with something under the eye. I'm going to use my little Kiko brush. This is the Eyes 212 brush. I love this brush for going underneath, it's great. So I'm going to start with that dark brown shade again. Sorry, not the dark brown, the brick one. Taking that all the way underneath and kind of joining it up. And I'm then going to take some of the matte brown again, Versailles, and just go just in the outer corner with that and a little bit closer to the lash line. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my 217. I'm quite happy with how that looks, but I do feel like it's gotten quite dark underneath, so I need something to like balance it on the top. So I think rather than eyeliner, I'm going to do, again going with this Kiko brush, and just go like press some of the dark brown into my lash line. I'm getting quite a lot of fall down definitely, but then I'm not being so good about like tapping off the excess. I could probably be a lot more careful. If I was going to use this palette to do a darker look like this, I'd definitely do my eye makeup first in future. So I've pressed Versailles along the top lash line and kind of smudged it out. And then I'm going to take this black one, which is Splendor, and just press that even closer to the lash line, more in the kind of outer corner. I'm now going to pop on a bit of mascara, and for that I'm using this one. This is the Dior Show Blackout Mascara by Dior, and I just really love this mascara. I find it layers quite well as well. I already had some on, but I'm just going to pop a bit more on top just because I've got some like eyeshadow fall down on my actual lashes. So now that I've got a stronger eye makeup look on, I think I could do with kind of darkening my brows up a little bit. So I'm just going to go in with this Bobbi Brown Brow Groomer and Brow Definer brush, and I'm going to take this dark brown shade again, Versailles, just a little bit just through the arch. I think that's a really good brow colour. I mean, I do tend to prefer a more natural brow, but I think sometimes when you've got that kind of full makeup look, especially a full eye makeup look, you kind of need a bit more of a darker brow. Just going to brush through them just to soften it out a little bit. I'm going to go in again and kind of just brush off that fall down. So that's the finished look. I hope you like it. I'm really pleased with how it came out. I just love all of the shades. I'd say like they're really nice quality, they're really like beautiful and smooth. Even the mattes are really nice and they're not chalky at all. I can't wait to have more of a play with this palette and wear like that brick one by itself and then try out some of like the darker ones, and I'm sure this is gonna become a favourite palette of mine very, very soon. Yeah, so it is £55, which obviously is expensive for an eyeshadow palette. NARS eyeshadow palettes are quite pricey. But I do think they're worth it, particularly if you find a palette where you know you're going to use most of the shades. Yeah, so I'd say if you want it, if you're watching this to like decide whether to buy it or not, buy it because it's great. Maybe give the next one a miss. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. So yeah, I'll put a link to it down below in the description box, and hopefully it will still be in stock by the time I put this video up. I know these limited edition things tend to sell out quite quickly. But yeah, so I'll leave all my links down below to like my vlog channel, my blog, all of my social media if you want to go over and follow me. Do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would be lovely. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!